When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Absolutely, unequivocally, yes is the answer. Now, here is the host of The Long Bearded Guy, the Chief Catalyst, Strategist Guide at JEWIL International, Gordon D Melville.
Hey everybody, welcome to The Long Bearded Guy on Inspired Choices Network. It's Friday, it's Red Friday. I have my hat, but I got my red vest. Red, R-E-D, remember everyone deployed. So I want to remember them, especially this time of year. Lots of them can't be at home, they can't be with their family, and they're willing to do that to protect us and to stand on the wall for us. So thank you so much, much respect for you. All right, so today we're going to talk about daring to share this Christmas spirit. Ooh, what does that mean? What's this Christmas spirit? There's a specific thing we're looking to share with you today, and I'm going to dare you to do it. When I was young, when I was a kid, that's many moons ago now, but we used to dare each other. And if you had a double dog dare, you absolutely had to do it. Didn't matter how ridiculous it was, which is why women tend to live longer than men, because we do stupid stuff that can hurt us and cause some challenges. Women typically don't do that, so they're safer that way. But we dare each other, and so I'm going to dare you today to share this kind of. There's a very specific type of Christian spirit or Christmas spirit. I want you to share. I'm going to challenge you to share today. So, welcome to the Long Bearded Guy. I deeply appreciate you being here, and I know there's people all over the place listening. In their car and on their work and wherever they happen to be. I know there's a bunch of people listening. So thank you so much for being here. I've got my special mug, and Santa came early. I don't know if you can see that. I've got two right here. Inspired Choices Network mugs. Look at this. Oh, I was so excited to have my Inspired Choices Network mugs. That was very exciting and very special for me. So thank you for those. If you don't have a journal or something close to write on, you want to do that, you got about 30 seconds to do that. And I want you to find, please like us, love us, share us. Excited to have you find us on Apple TV and Google TV, and Inspired Choices Network.tv is our own TV station. So plug us in there, but anywhere that you would see us, anywhere that you would plug in for your podcast, for your live radio, for your TV, Amazon Fire, Roku, like any iHeartRadio, anywhere that you listen, please like us, love us, share it, subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to download of Inspired Choices Network on any of your platforms that you Google Store, Apple Store, Play Store, wherever you download stuff. You'll find Inspired Choices Network app. You can download that for free, and then you can take in all of the hosts, not just me, but everybody. There's some incredible hosts on this network, so plug into it. It doesn't cost anything, but it helps us if you like, love, share, and subscribe. With the algorithms and whatnot, it helps us pay for the show. If you know who I am, great, welcome back. If you don't know who I am, I'm on a mission to positively change the lives of more than 10 million men by raising their EQ, by raising their emotional quotient. Their emotion, it's not really an intelligence, but we refer to it that way a lot of times. So I want to raise their emotional intelligence, their emotional quotient. I want them to be, because once they do that, their lives get better, their relationships get better, they become a better boss, better husband, better employee. Everything gets better. All the way around, it gets better. So I don't know if you can tell, I'm a little bit excited today. I've got a little bit less pain today after a long time of pain, and that's trying to be transparent and vulnerable with you. But I'm in a better state today in terms of pain. So I'm excited to be in that place, and very excited to share this with you. So I'm the founder and CEO of JEWIL International. I refer to myself as a legacy and resiliency strategist, because we need both of those things. When you've heard me talk about legacy before, and if you haven't, go back and watch another episode. Find the episodes where I talk about it, because legacy is something we do every day, and we need to be resilient to get to the end of the line. So a combination of that, and then I'm a champion mindset mentor for a pro basketball team. I'm a multi-award winning international best-selling author multiple times. I'm an international keynote speaker, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's not a resume thing. It's just saying, hey, this is who you're listening to. I serve entrepreneurial men and pro athletes, and I've got a bunch of different ways to plug into me in terms of programming. Obviously, you can listen here, and I would encourage you to do that and bring your friends and not just the men in your life, but everybody. We don't have the market cornered on low EQ. So, and anytime we can add some tools to our toolbox, when we think everything is good, the better off we are when things aren't. And as we get into the topic today, daring to share this particular Christmas spirit, you know, holiday time is a hard time of year for a lot of people. It's a really difficult time. And so, you know what? We want to give you some ideas around this concept today, and I want to again I want to dare you and challenge you to share this kind of spirit. So that's who you're listening to. Find us if you've got your pad and paper ready, and you've got your I'm drinking herbal tea. So this is, I think it's peach and dandelion and I forget. There's a whole whack of good things for me in there. Instead of coffee. So can you imagine how jacked up I would be if that was a coffee? But anyway, so let's get going. So dare to share this particular Christmas spirit. So what is Christmas spirit? Excuse me, what are we even talking about? What does Christmas spirit even mean? I wrote something down here. Christmas spirit is in the spirit of Christmas is in the togetherness, the connection. We're going to talk about that next week, but it's in the togetherness, it's in the connections, it's in the thought to which we put into thinking about others. Ding, 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 EQ, EQ. It's a selfless time where we forgive, right? Because that's not about the other person. It's not letting them off the hook. It's not saying what they did was okay. Forgiveness allows and frees us. It frees us. And it's a good time of year to do that. So we forgive, we take stock of what's important in our lives, and we focus on becoming better versions of ourselves. It's a wonderful time of year for a lot of people. Now, that being said, there's lots of time when it's not for lots of people. And we're going to talk about that in the next segment. So I won't get into too much of that. But in this part, what's the spirit of Christmas? If you remember back to well, even now I remember in high school, you know, that last day when everybody kind of left for the day and there was a real weird warmth and camaraderie, and people that you didn't usually talk to, you might talk to people that you would say hi to, and there was extra hugs and there were extra, it was just this weird warm, it was amazing, this caring environment that you and at work it happens the same way, right? You work whatever your last shift is before that Christmas. And for us in the business I've been in, we would work on Christmas Eve day until 5-6 o'clock sometimes. But the feeling you got from the clients and the customers and your staff and the other people around you was this real warm, it was Christmas spirit. It was care. It was that togetherness. Those connections meant more in the moment. We saw the same thing after 9/11, where the whole city just sucked together. Matter of fact, not just the city, the state and all of the US pulled together. The world pulled together. North America sucked together. Do you know what I mean? Like that, it was that togetherness. Those connections actually mattered. In on our East Coast in Canada, a lot of the planes that were going into the US, more than 30 of them landed in an airport in a bunch of airports, I guess, in that area in Canada, and the Canadians looked after them. Complete strangers. We do that at Christmas. We have that kind of we're better versions of ourselves. We plug into that. We need to leave ourselves plugged into that all year long. That's not the challenge, but you know what? That's a great challenge. Don't unplug from that. Stay plugged into that emotional quotient, that real high level of awareness around others. Where are they at? We were trying to move ourselves forward, don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is having some situational awareness. It's going to tie into our call to action today, but that situational, hey, what's going on with other people? How can I make their lives better? What can I do? It's thought we put into gifts for people that we like and care about or love. You know, Secret Santa, maybe it's somebody we don't know that well. Maybe it gives us the opportunity to get to know them a little bit. What do they like? That's EQ, folks. We talk about this, well, emotional quotient, emotional intelligence. What is it? Kind of an intellectual thing? No, it's not in our head. We can know what it is here, but that's not where it focuses. EQ focuses 12 inches lower in our heart. EQ is about heart. EQ is about understanding humans. It's about understanding ourselves so that we can understand others. What makes us tick? What drives us? What inspires us? What moves us forward? And why? How come? Why does that inspire people? If you've got a mission to make $1 million, that's wonderful. I'll guarantee you will not do it with other people. How come? You getting rich doesn't inspire anybody else. Being able to have a mission and a vision that's bigger than yourself, that inspires people. At Christmas time, we all have that kind of vision. At Christmas time, we all have others focused. We pay attention to those around us. And we get as excited. I mean, I'm that kind of a human. If I buy something that I know is very, very cool for somebody, it's special and I know it is, and I'm all excited. Oh, I can't wait to give it to them. Lots of times it doesn't make it to the tree because I've given it to them already because I'm so excited for them to open it. Anybody else like that? Am I the only one, or do other people do that too? I lots of times I can't wait. And when something gets opened under a tree, I don't know if you can see that. That came last Christmas. And for those of you that don't know, that heart over that's a semicolon with a heart on it, which is of course my tattoo. And my wife and my sons made that hat for me for last Christmas. And it touched me. It made me cry. I got emotional about it. I got emotional. Why? Because it was something that you could tell they had put some thought into. It was something that connected all of us in the room. They connected with me deep in my heart. That's what Christmas is about. Obviously, it's about, baby Jesus being born. He wasn't born in December. There were trees, but they would have been palm trees, not Christmas trees. It's about the concept around that. It's about Papa giving his son to us. That's, the Christmas story. There's so much stuff wrapped up in that. We could talk for hours and hours and hours about that. And I don't want to get pulled in that kind of a direction at the moment. That's not what today is about. It's rooted there, though. It's rooted there for sure. But to be able to get ourselves out of ourselves, focused with other people, focused in other directions. You hear people say, well, it's not about the getting, it's about the giving. It's better to give than to receive. It's great to get, don't get me wrong. But but being able to receive with grace, we do it at Christmas times lots of times, but we can't do it the rest of the year. Why is that? It's interesting. But we like to give. All of us like to give. We like to be the giver at Christmas and the rest of the year. We like how it makes us feel. And that energy, that Christmas spirit, I believe, is the energy of all of us focusing in that same direction at the same time. You ever been to a sport, and I got to take a quick break, but have you ever been to a sporting event where the crowd gets right into it and it energizes the players and they have more focus, and that's the collective energy of everybody in the room being focused at the players, at the game. In that same way, at Christmas time, the whole world, the planet, focuses all on that one event. We focus, all of us, on that one event. All that energy that's what creates that weird wonderful, wonderful, warm spirit. We want to be able to plug into that, but not everybody can. Don't go away, because we're going to talk about this in the next segment. We're going to go into deeper in the next segment. How do we show Christmas spirit? How do we get into Christmas spirit? Why are some of the statistics around holiday time not being a good time of year? But I want to do a quick shout out for Jose Escobar, is the founder and the CEO of the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. Check out the Connected Leaders Academy, is his other business and his company, but it's a membership that takes your business to the next level. This is the perfect tribe to learn, grow, and connect like never before. The Connected Leaders Academy tribe brings together some of the highest level entrepreneurs from all over the world, literally 17 or 18 countries. There's 350 some odd people I've seen in the last week. Another half a dozen at least joined the Connected Leaders Academy. But set up your free virtual coffee with him today, and you can reach him at theentrepreneur'sbookshelf.com. Reach out to him. That's an incredible group, especially this time of year. Incredible. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you pause and breathe as we go to a break to ground ourselves. Grab yourself some more to drink, and grab your pen and your journal, because you're going to need it in the next segment. Don't go anywhere. You're with Gordon D Melville, the long-bearded guy, on Inspired Choices Network. Be right back.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at JEWIL International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life, no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. So what we're talking about today, I'm daring you to share this type of Christmas spirit. What type of Christmas spirit are we talking about? And we're going to talk about that in this segment, this little piece. And I want to talk just real quick, because Christmas spirit can be wonderful for everybody. It can be wonderful for lots of us. I shouldn't say everybody. It would be nice if it was, but it's not. There's lots of reasons people are not happy at this time of year. December, January, February are the highest depression rates. There's a lot of mental awareness challenges, mental health, mental illness type challenges during those 3 months. Part of that is the weather, the lack of sunshine. A lot of times there's cloud. So that would weighs into it. But the other piece is they say between 38% and more than half of people are increased stress around Christmas for a bunch of different reasons, right? So they're a source, holidays in general, it doesn't matter if it's Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter or whatnot. Holidays can be a source of anxiety and depression and loneliness and physical illness and substance abuse, and suicides go up during that time of year. Mental health related ER visits as well. Everything goes up. Why? Well, lack of time, financial pressures, gift giving, because they don't know what to give or they spend too much. family gatherings, getting together with some of our family. Sometimes that's hard. We think in terms of we would love to do that. It's family, but sometimes family can be difficult. Sometimes family is one of the hardest things, especially if we get into certain topics, right? If you're known for getting into politics or to religion or whatever, it can get heated. We can be adversarial. Sometimes someone's just being a yuck all year, and all of a sudden you want me to be nice to them at Christmas time and put a face on them. Like, I don't play that. I'm not blowing sunshine up somebody's butt because it's Christmas. Well, it's family. You got no, 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 no. Right. But so that can create some challenges. So how do we take those things and understand? We want to focus. We want to make sure it's not a matter of living in those spaces. We do have to acknowledge those things are there. We don't want to live in those spaces and hang out in those spaces, but we need to at least acknowledge they're there. And so, how do we either get into the Christmas spirit, or how do we show Christmas spirit? Because if we can do it, if we show Christmas spirit, it does not giving people permission. They don't need your permission, but it lets them see and feel. And a lot of times that's contagious. And if you are like that, they'll be like that. So listening to Christmas music is a great way to do it, right? And lots of radio stations, that's all they play in December is Christmas music. Almost drives me crazy that they start as soon as they do. But you know what? Getting into that puts you into that mode. Hearing certain songs takes us right back to our kids. Sometimes it takes us back to a specific moment. Listen to Christmas music, putting up decorations. Our fearless leader, she put her tree up last night, and apparently it's resting in the jacuzzi with a glass of wine today. She said it's relaxing. So maybe it's having a massage, whatever that is. But you know what? Decorating, whether it's on the outside, lights on the outside of the house, or wreaths on the door, or decorating, that can put us in that Christmas spirit. That can show Christmas spirit. Baking, special food at this time of year. We cook certain things. Oh, it's a Christmas tradition in our house. We cook this, we bake this. Cookies, that kind of stuff, right? Well, cookie exchange. I know lots of women that do that. That they exchange cookies at Christmas time. And Christmas movies. And I'm going to get feedback. I know I am that doesn't agree, but Die Hard is my favorite Christmas movie. People, oh, that's not a Christmas. It's a Christmas movie. It happens at Christmas. You know what? It's a Christmas movie. But there's lots of Miracle on 34th Street, White Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed. There's lots of Christmas movies that you watch, and it puts you into that same kind of mood, right? It gets us into that Christmas spirit. Read the Christmas story. Go back to your Bible and read the Christmas story. How does that work? Christmas with the Cranks is a great movie. I love that movie. Tim Allen and oh crap, I can see her face. But incredible movie, great movie, right? But again, it gets you into that spirit. It's fun, and it gets you into that space. Candles that smell like grandma's kitchen, right? There's certain smells that snap you instantly back to your childhood, instantly back to places that are warm and inviting and give you like a hug. The smell from a candle could give you a hug. But that we do that at Christmas time. We put candles around, drive around and look and see other people's Christmas lights and decorations. It's fun. What are other people doing? Our neighbor on the other side of the little wall that's there, a little tiny little one. They've got this little, it's a SpongeBob SquarePants, Chris with a Christmas hat and whatever, but it blows up. So there's a fan underneath it, and it keeps it, and it wobbles and whatever. And there's a tree and whatever. We put a wreath on our door. There's certain things that we put out, and people put up a decoration. Some people cover their lawn with stuff, or cover their house with lights. The Christmas Vacation, great Christmas movie, classic Christmas movie. I was asking, hey, some of my friends, how do you get into that spirit? And somebody said, well, I paint my nails red. And I'm like, okay, I suppose I could do that. That'd be a little weird, but you know what? I'm happy to do it. So painting your nails red, that could get you into that Christmas spirit. Donating clothes or things or money to charity can get us into that same kind of spirit, right? It helps us feel like we're giving back. It helps us feel like we're contributing, that we're paying attention and caring about other people. Attending Christmas Eve service always sort of puts us into that space. Go caroling with your friends. It doesn't matter how good you can sing. Go and carol with somebody. Church groups will do that sometimes, but friends will go out and do that sometimes. It's not about how good you sound. People don't care. It's about the fact that you're doing it. And a lot of times people don't do that anymore, right? We don't do it anymore. Maybe we need to embrace that again. Use Christmas smelled essential oils. Again, came from one of my female friends. Like, hey, I use this, peppermint, and I use certain Christmas smells, cedar and pine and things like that. She puts in her tree. She got an artificial tree, and she puts some of those smells into it, so it smells like Christmas. Point is, there's lots and lots and lots of ways to plug in. Lots of ways to plug in to give us that Christmas spirit. Right? We do multiple of things like this at the same time. Putting up a tree and decorating while we're watching a Christmas movie or listening to Christmas music. Maybe we're singing the carols along as we go through some of these movies we've seen lots of times. I know my mother-in-law watching White Christmas, she can sing every song by word for word without the movie, but she loves to sing it with the movie. But it puts us in a space. It puts us in state. It puts us in a spirit of Christmas. Dare to share this particular type of Christmas spirit. And what are we talking about? If you haven't caught it already, what's this Christmas spirit? I'm talking about that part of the Christmas spirit that is outward, others facing. Because I think that's the heart of what we're talking about. It's the connection. It's the togetherness that we feel with other people. We're thinking about other people instead of ourselves. Very, very powerful emotion. And when you push it all together, it gives us this Christmas spirit. And I dare you, share that with people. Share that others focused. And find someone else to do this stuff with. Don't just read the Christmas story by yourself. Do it with your grandkids. Do it with your siblings. Do it with your parents. Do it with a shut-in. Go to a senior's home and do it with them. Find somewhere to go and do that with. Go to an animal shelter and read it to a dog or a cat that sounds weird. But you're spending time, again, it's togetherness. Are you paying attention? We're interconnected. All of us, every living thing, we're all connected. Are we aware of that? Do we plug into that? I'm daring you and challenging you this time of year, plug into that. I'll guarantee you'll have a much, much, much deeper Christmas if you do. And you know what? It'll make you feel good because you're doing it, but you'll also be helping somebody else. You're helping bring other people into that same spirit. And the more that happens, the bigger that grows, the more everybody is feeling that same way. And then we don't have people that are anxious and depressed and feel lonely or have increased physical illness. Suicides don't go up. It's a cascading effect. When we show care, it's a cascading effect into others. But it has to start somewhere. Oh, no one else is doing it. I don't give a shit. You do it. You're not responsible for what anybody else is doing. You're not responsible for how they take what you're doing. Are you doing it with a pure heart? Yes. Then you know what? It doesn't matter what their response to it is or their reaction to it even. Doesn't matter. You're doing it because it's who you are. You're doing it because you know and believe it's the right thing to do. We need to do more of that on the whole. Don't be worried about other people's opinion. It doesn't matter. Their opinions don't matter. You're doing it because it makes you feel good. You're doing it because you know it's the right thing to do. You're doing it to be others focused. Are you feeling me? I hope you're feeling me. All right, I got to take another quick break. Again, I want to do a shout out for Jose Escobar. Check out the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. That was his first company, but that you want to learn from him in that business. What he teaches is about the morning and evening routine mastery program that's changing people's lives. It's incredible. The program will help you install systems on the bookends of your day to maximize your morning and evening routine. Set up your free strategy session with Jose Escobar today, and you can reach him at theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. theentrepreneursbookshelf.com is where you reach him. But if you're not doing something on the bookends of your day, you're not maximizing your day. That's the truth of it. That's the fact of it all. You can tell yourself, no, I am doing lots of, you know what, if you don't have a routine that you do day after day after day after day after day, day in, day out, in the morning and at night, you're not getting the most you can out of your day. You want to squeeze all the juice out of your orange? You need to have a routine in the morning and evening. Reach out to Jose. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be talking in the next segment about ways to protect ourselves and why. Ways to protect our Christmas spirit. Why would we want to do that? Don't go anywhere. You're with, don't forget to pause and breathe, by the way. You got to pause and breathe to ground yourself. But you're with the long bearded guy, Gordon D Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. I'll be right back.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at JEWIL International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
The Connected Leaders Academy is the #1 fastest growing networking community for entrepreneurs. CLA assembles high-level leaders, titans of industry, and business owners under one roof. If you're an entrepreneur looking to grow personally, professionally, scale your influence, develop skills, and expand your network exponentially, the CLA is where you need to be. Want on to more podcasts and shows, speak on more stages, sell more books, products, and services, get more leads, referrals, acquire new clients, develop lifelong friendships, and more. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. Contact Jose Escobar on Facebook or check out www.claglobalsummit.com for more information.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. That's me. I'm camouflaged as Santa today, but on the Inspired Choices Network. Today we're talking about daring to share this Christmas spirit. Dare to share this Christmas spirit. We've been talking about what that means. How do we show it? Where do we get it? How do we make it more? What is Christmas spirit? We've talked about a lot of things today. If you're just jumping in now, you want to go back and listen because there's lots of good stuff there. In this little piece, we want to talk about ways to protect our Christmas spirit and why would we do that? How come? So just a couple real quick ones here. So we want to protect against high expectation is the first one. High expectation. I take expectation away. I have agreements. Let them go. And I know that sounds way simplified. People go, yeah, easy for you to say. And I'm not saying it's easy. And you're right. Easier said than done. Lots. But if you're choosing to do it and we're focused in that space, just let it go. Let the expectation go. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. Guess what? That's life. Be okay with it. Oh, I want it perfect for my family. That's great. It will be perfect because it's your family. It will be perfect, and it's going to happen exactly the way it's supposed to. Ignore the judgment. Oh, the stigma. We got to stop. No, it's not stigma. Stop using that word. It's not stigma. It's judgment. It's judgment. Ignore it. On all the sides, people that you're really, really big into Christmas and you're all bubbly and you're all excited about, and people are, oh, but Ignore it. That they're saying something about them, they're not saying anything about you. And on the vice versa, that if you're in a I'm in a bah humbug, you're in a bah humbug space, and somebody else is trying to make you feel guilty because you're not really feeling that spirit yet, let it go. Ignore that judgment. Don't bring it on. Sticking with traditions. Sometimes it's great to stick with. There's some really, really amazing traditions. But you know what? Stuff happens. Life happens. A few years ago was the first time in more than 40 years my wife hadn't been in the same room as her sisters, as her family on Christmas morning. And in more than 4 decades, it hadn't happened. But guess what? People were sick. A bunch of us were sick. It's the first time that it happened that way. And we had to let it go. It was like, you know what? Okay, so we've got a really good run. But life changes. The kids are getting older. We can't do what we used to do. Maybe sticking with the tradition is what causes you that high expectation. I got to stick to the tradition. I got to do the tradition. I'm not saying don't have traditions or try and stick to. I'm not saying don't do it. What I'm saying is, don't be so cemented in that you can't modify, that you can't change it. Maybe it can't be there this way, the way you want it to be. Maybe you come back to it next year. Just don't get yourself all stuck in. Take away all your season, all your good Christmas stuff because of that one thing. Do what you love about the holidays. It doesn't have to be. Maybe it's not a tradition thing. Maybe you moved out. Maybe you're in a different place. Maybe you're divorced this year. So it's changed the dynamic. Okay. Do what you love about the holiday. That it's that way. It's your own agreement. You're not living up to somebody else's expectation. Let that judgment go. So high expectations, let it go. Have a frozen moment. Just let it go. And in a frozen moment, it's even the right time of year for that in Canada anyway. The next one is merriment, where we overdo it. We overeat, we overdrink, we overspend, we overindulge, we overdo it. And then in January, we're exhausted and broke. and we are too heavy. And that's why New Year's resolution, I got to lose weight. Why? Well, I just put on 15 pounds with all the food I ate and all the drink I had and all the merriment that was there. Do a gift exchange instead of buying for everybody. That'll take some of the anxiety away. An agreement. Have an agreement with your family, as people get bigger, as families get bigger, you know what? All of a sudden you've got, it's not just you and your siblings anymore. Now they're having kids. Now there's 4 of them to buy in that house and 5 of them to buy in that house. That can be a huge amounts of anxiety and huge amounts of pressure when you're trying to keep your spending down. Have a budget. I'm going to spend this much, and once I get to that, I'm done. Be aware of your triggers and your propensities. If you have a propensity to spend way too much, be aware of it when you go into the store. Set a limit. I'm only going to spend X amount of dollars, whether that's X per person, X total for Christmas, whatever it is. But beware of your triggers. What triggers you? What makes you spend more? What makes you spend less? What pisses you off? What makes you happy? Be aware of yourself. Don't lose sight of your self-care. Don't lose sight of your self-care. Mom and Dad used to spend they would go to bed half an hour wrapping stuff and putting stuff together. How many parents can I did myself? Right, the self-care goes right out the window. Don't lose track of your self-care. You can have merriment, have fun. Don't lose track of looking after yourself. The next one's trying to be the perfect host. You know what? It's absolutely, Sarah, for sure. Absolutely. You being the perfect host, we put all this pressure and stress on ourselves to protect yourself. You don't need to. There is no such thing as a perfect host. Go back and watch Christmas Vacation again. Go and watch the Christmas with the Cranks. Were they the perfect host? Everybody described them as the perfect host. Was it perfect? No. Did it need everybody? Yes. That's the connections. That's the togetherness. Look what happened when they pulled it all together without ruining the story for anybody. It took the neighborhood and everybody pitches in. Is it perfect? No. Was there stuff there that they would like or not like? Yes. Did the experience still happen? Yes. Delegate. Maybe you don't have to be the host this year. Take a break, ask someone else to do it. Maybe you don't have to do it this year. That's fine. Be okay with that. Be okay with it. Have clear boundaries and agreements. Have boundaries. Have clear, defined. Hey, you know what? We're going to have everybody over, but I know, you know what? We're going to leave. And say that right in front of, I would say that right in front of everybody. No politics, no religion. We're not talking about anything political, nothing religion. We can talk about anything else we want, but not those two things. Everybody agree? Yes, great. We want to keep it on a positive space. Have clear boundaries and agreements with the people, with yourself, and then with everybody else. Too much togetherness. Is there such a thing as too much connection? Yes. Watch the intensity. Sometimes we're surrounded and there's so much bustle, and I go, you know what? I can't deal with that. I can't, because of the pain in my head. I'm like, you know what? I can't listen to. I love listening to the laughter and all the joy, and I love hearing that, but it's too much. And so I go off by myself, and I go to our bedroom and I hide. I put headphones on and listen to soft Christmas music or some other music, or listen to something else. Sometimes the intensity of togetherness can be too much. Leave when you're ready to go, or kick everybody out. Hey, I'm done. Get out. We've partied a lot. Get out. And if you're at somebody else's party, hey, I've had a blast. This has been great. Thank you so much. I gotta go. Nothing stopping you from leaving. Give yourself permission to do what's best for you. I can't stress that one strongly enough in all the categories. Give yourself permission to do what's best for you. You do what's good for you. To protect yourself. That's going to be the trick. How do you focus outside yourself and still look after yourself? Ooh. Ooh. Interesting. And then the last one is feeling left out. How do we protect ourselves from feeling left out? Some people are on their own. Like I said, maybe it's the first Christmas with the loss of a loved one that you spent lots of time of your rest of your life with. Maybe it's a loss of a relationship, you know, with a significant other or a spouse or a partner. There's lots of reasons we can be feeling like we're alone, or we're just not connected. But we don't have to feel that way. We don't have to feel that way. Connect. Do something special for you. Again, give yourself permission to do what's best for you. What's something you love to do at Christmas time? Go do that. You like driving around to all the, if you can find a friend, great. If you can't, go do it yourself. Volunteer someplace. There's always shelters looking for people to help them serve the homeless and serve people that don't have, or taking Christmas baskets, hampers to people. There's lots of things you can do at this time of year to volunteer. That allows you to plug in. You're not by yourself. You're giving back. And it'll make you feel good. I promise you that will make you feel good. Reach out to other people. Don't just sit in the middle of it. Hey, I'm by myself this year. Can I come over? We don't like to do that. Can I invite myself to your... You know what? I'll guarantee you most people would do it in a heartbeat. Most people, especially this time of year, they don't want people to be alone. Most people don't want anybody else to be alone. Mom used to have people in our house all the time. My mom used to, and sometimes they were family that we knew, and sometimes it was complete strangers. Her parents were missionaries in South Africa. They have that kind of a thing in their mind. So we would have homeless people in the house at Christmas dinner. There were always strangers at the table. It was, and it allowed us to plug into that thought process. That's daring to share that type of Christmas spirit. That's this Christmas spirit I'm talking about. And sharing that. Can you share that spirit you're feeling? Share that concept with other people around you. It'll make you feel better. And in that whole kind of concept, if this stuff resonates, and I'm going to ask you for help, because especially this time of year, there's a couple of things I want to ask for help with. This show doesn't happen without my sponsors. And because of the situations and things going on in everybody's life, and cost of everything going up, I'm trying to find and onboard some more sponsors for my show. If this resonates with you, let me know. There's lots of ways. There's different ways and levels to connect and to plug in. Some of them cost a little bit. There's a little bit of dough. Some of them don't cost anything. But you know what? Please reach out to me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. If you want to get this message out, you want to encourage other people, you want to reduce depression and suicide, not just in guys, but in everybody, reach out to me. I want to partner. If you happen to know, or if you are someone that's plugged into a beard company, the show's called The Long Bearded Guy. I'm their avatar, and no disrespect to any of the female bearded ladies on the planet, but most of their avatars look like me. I would love to find a beard company sponsor. So that's the one way. The other way is if you resonate, if this touches you and you're like, oh, this is good stuff. My dad or my brother or my sons or my uncles or whoever it is in your life that needs to hear these types of messages, plug them in. There's lots of ways to hook into my system, into my information. We can do one-on-one. We can do group stuff. I've got 2 cohorts starting, a men's and a women's, in January, of Box Inside Out. Very successful program that teaches tools and strategies. We need to do it. It's a great time to do it. Beginning of the year, put the tools in your toolbox. Reach out to me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com, for details about any of that stuff. Plug in. Intentionally grow in 2024. With intention, move yourself forward. The only way you do that is to do something different than you're doing now. You need to put something else in. So we need to take another quick break. And so we're going to do that. Don't forget to pause and breathe. When we come back, we'll wrap and I'll give you the call to action we'll talk about next week. Don't go anywhere. You're with the long bearded guy, Gordon D Melville. That's me on Inspired Choices Network. Don't forget to pause and breathe.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at JEWIL International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with me today. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. We've been talking about Dare to Share this Christmas spirit. And that Christmas spirit we're talking about is the one where we're outward focused, because that's that true spirit, that togetherness, that connection with other people, caring about what's happening for other people, and then doing something about it. It's great to say, hey, thoughts and prayers, that's wonderful. But at some point, we got to put feet and boots on the ground. We have to actually do something with those intentions. So we've talked about what is Christmas spirit of Christmas. We've talked about how do we show it or get it. Christmas spirit. We've talked about ways to protect ourselves and why we would protect ourselves during the Christmas spirit and the Christmas time, the Christmas or the holiday season. And then for this one, so we talked about those things, but the call to action is to intentionally focus on making someone else's Christmas the best one ever. What can you do to make somebody else's Christmas the best one they've ever had? I double dog dare you. Ooh, that's a serious dare. I double dog dare you to do that for someone you know could never ever repay it. That's true Christmas spirit. Do that for somebody that you know will never ever ever be able to give it back to you. Will never be able to, outside of their gratitude and appreciation, will never be able to give it back to you. I double dog dare you to do that this Christmas. Find somebody that needs it. Find a family that needs it. Give them a Christmas basket. Give them something. Something. Bake them a pie. Buy them a pie. Buy something for their kids. I'm challenging you, seriously challenging you, to intentionally focus on making somebody else's Christmas the best it can be. That'll make you feel good. All right, next week, Friday, December 22nd. Shocking. The year's almost over. We're almost at Christmas. A couple of weeks, not even. A couple of weeks. Shocks me. Anyway, Friday, December 22nd, we're going to talk about opening our heart for a richer Christmas connection. We're going to keep this theme. We've had it all December. We're going to keep it right through the last week of December. Opening our heart for a richer Christmas connection. Again, being in that space, opening our heart, that's connection. It's togetherness. It's giving of ourselves to let other people feel good. It's having situational awareness about what other people have or have not. And I challenge you, think about somebody beside ourselves. Do your self-care, look after you, but look after yourself first so that you can, not instead of. You hear me talk about that a lot. I jump up and down on it. Look after yourself first, for sure. But then help other people around you. Share that wealth. Share that Christmas spirit. Share that forgiveness. Give that love and that caring and that compassion and that empathy and that giving. It doesn't have to be stuff. The most precious thing you have this year and any year and at any day that ends in Y is your time. It's a non-renewable resource. Give your time to somebody else to improve their life. Help them somehow, especially during this Christmas holiday spirit, this Christmas holiday time. No matter what religion, no matter what your background is, no matter how you look at there's so much hate and hurt and pain and angst and anxiety and stress and negative in the world. Let's offset that with this powerful, powerful love vibration out to everybody. Next week, we're going to talk about opening your heart for a richer Christmas connection. It's a good place to start. It's a good place for us to push that out into the world. To emit that from ourselves, from our hearts, from our brain, from our souls, to push that out. This is going to be another quick week. And you know what? We got holidays coming. There's hustle and bustle at the grocery stores. There's hustle bustle in every store we go into. There's people on the road, extra people all over the place. Be courageous this week. Be unapologetically you. Give some Christmas spirit to other people. Make it another great week. I love you. Massive hugs. Live out you abundantly and with intention, and we'll see you next week. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. And we'll see you next week. Have a good week. Make it a great week. Hug your friends, hug your neighbors.
Thank you for tuning into the Long Bearded Guy Show. You are appreciated and loved. Gordon D Melville returns Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on the InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, make it another great week, leading with love, powerfully designing, crafting, and living out your positively impactful legacy life you were created for. Big hugs!